Hi, hello. I'm Kumar and I'm from Oracle, and this is the video blog on will huge consistent reads floods Oracle buffer cache or not. We probably know, Oracle buffer cache, very important to the Oracle architecture, where this is the main part of the SGA where Oracle data blocks are basically read from the data files whenever it is required, and from the buffer cache it is basically accessed by the users concurrently. And that is how, because of the Oracle buffer cache and because of its architecture, the Oracle database is multi-tenant or multi-user database. So multiple users can access the database at the same time, making sure that architectural components, making sure that you read always a consistent data from the buffer cache. So what is it we are trying to actually see in this video blog is, we know the consistent read is an operation on top of a data block which is under transaction, isn't it? So whenever a data block is under transaction, and if you are trying to actually read the data block from a different user session, you have to basically see the older data until unless the transaction is completed. So that's what it basically means, right? So let me actually repeat that in case if you did not follow. For example, a user is accessing a data block and he is writing an update statement, and the data block is basically fetched into the memory and the update statement has been run on it. Now before the user gives a commit or rollback, between that time slot, if a user 2 is accessing that data block with a read statement, that is select statement, he has to see the data which was before the transaction, because the transaction is not yet committed, right? That is what we call it as consistent read, correct? Now what is that I meant from this title is, in case if there are multiple users in the database, or consider the same user if he is trying to manipulate the same data block or multiple data blocks, and if he did not commit the transaction yet. So what does it mean? There is a data block and the user is trying to actually modify, he is running multiple update statements on the data block one after the other, and he did not complete the transaction yet. At this point of time, if the users which are connected parallelly to the database, if they wanted to actually go back and read the data block, definitely a consistent read operation has to be performed. Now let us see how does architecturally, we know these concepts theoretically, right? So every time when there is a data block which is under transaction, if somebody is trying to read that data block, he will be viewing, or he will be seeing the data which is consistent read. But how does the database in the buffer cache basically have this operation? Let us see that. That's what my agenda is for today. In this blog. So I have connected to the database here. As you see on the screen, I have started up the database. So what I would do is, I will basically connect to the database and I'll pick up a table for you to demonstrate how does Oracle database buffer cache works on the consistent read operation. Now if you see this, I will be using the Scott schema, and in here I will be using the table called department, because we know this very well, and this department is very small so that it is easy for us to understand. Now let me connect to the another session, and yes, this session I'll be basically connecting as the another user for read operations. Okay, so we have a session which I just got connected earlier. I use it for update statements, and this is the user session that I'll connect, and I'll use it for select statements. So on the left panel I use it for update, on the right panel I'll use it for read. Now parallelly, for me to monitor the status of the buffer cache, I need the third session, isn't it? This guy updates, this guy reads, and I need the third session who can monitor the buffer cache status, so that we understand how is Oracle database behaving in terms of consistent reads in the buffer cache. So I am connecting from the SQL developer, and because it is easy for us to actually visualize, so that's the reason I'm connecting to through the SQL developer. This is my third session, isn't it? Okay, so having this active, now I have this setup. So now let me first check the status of the buffer cache, that there are no data blocks for the object called department in the buffer cache. So that's the first thing I have to check. So how do I do that? So let me actually run this. If this doesn't actually give any result out, or this one, that means that I don't have any data block for the table called department. So that's fine. Now let me run. From this particular session, I have to run an update statement, isn't it? So now let me run that update. So I have that update here. So alright, so I will be running it from here. Fine. So there is one row updated. So now let me check in the database whether there is a data block with this ID or not. Perfect. So if you see now, earlier to this update statement, there were no blocks with the for the table called department. Now I can see I have basically used block number for that, and I can see the status of the data block is exclusive current, and exclusive current is something which is readable format, which is basically fetched from the data file into the buffer cache. That's what it means. And I can see that there is one data block inside my buffer cache with exclusive current status, and it is in dirty. And exclusive current is because this particular user will have the complete rights to have the transaction on this data block, and that's the reason you are able to perform. Now I will be trying to read the data block from this place. So let me see how will I able to read it. Now if I read it, what happens? Wow. As you can see, there are physical reads. This is the first thing that you have to remember until we complete this blog. And there are 10 consistent gets. I can see the data here. Now as I see the data here, and I have here, now if I try to go back and see how many data blocks are there in my database buffer cache, now you can see something surprising called current consistent read. Now what exactly happened was, using the first line that you have seen earlier, there was one user session who pulled the data block into the memory, and that particular data block, what he did was he basically updated it, and that's the reason he has got exclusive current. And because the data block has been modified by some reason, when the second user has tried to read the data, a consistent read operation has been performed, and the data block has been cloned in the buffer cache. That means now in the buffer cache there are two blocks for the same block number 135. Now that means if there is a block under transaction, if there is a user parallelly trying to access, there will be two blocks of the same data block that is fetched from the data file. Is this something meaningful? So let me actually confirm this by actually running this on the multiple rows on the same data block. Please remember, I did not commit this transaction yet. So yes, and let me again rerun this select. Now if you see, let me actually check what happens. Wow, there is a third data block that has been created. Is it true? So again I have done an update statement. Again there is a select statement. I see a consistent read data block created in the memory. And if you see the count here, let me also parallelly run this. There are 8 gets of the same department table in the buffer cache. Alright, let me again confirm this by running this on the different row, because I don't want, we have to basically see this for the multiple times. Again I have run this. So will I basically see the fourth one? Yes. Wow. So now is the consistent gets increased from 8 to 9? Yes, definitely. This is another proof for that. So let me run on another row, and please remember, I did not commit any of the transaction yet. What is it I'm trying to do is I'm trying to change the SCN number on the data block in the buffer cache, and as soon as the database sees there is an SCN number change on the data block in the buffer cache, it tries to create a new consistent read copy in the same database buffer cache, and it tries to serve the new SQL statement that we are running on this session. Okay, so now I have run, and again let me see if the count goes to 10. Perfect. And now let me see if this has been increased. Perfect. Now what you can see parallelly is this has become dirty. It has marked it as dirty. Earlier when we actually when we did the first update, it did not mark it as dirty, but now it has marked it as dirty because the first transaction is going forward, and there is a parameter that will tell that parameter has to be marked dirty after a certain minutes of transaction, right? That means this particular transaction is ready to be returned to the data file. That's the reason this flag has been marked as dirty. Now what is that you are trying to, now this clearly shows us, right? So if there is a data block which is under transaction multiple times, and if there are multiple select statements that you are running on the database parallelly, definitely there are the copies of the same data block created in the buffer cache. So when there are copies of the same data block in the buffer cache, doesn't we call it as flooding? Possibly yes, right? That's what I wanted to prove. So if you are doing a transaction on the data block, and if there are multiple users doing on the same data block, definitely, there are multiple users can also select the same data block. And please make sure now there is a proof for you to say that not the same consistent read block is used by all the users reading the data. There are multiple consistent read blocks created for every transaction that happened because the SCN number keeps changing. And that is the reason why I named this particular block title as flooding the database. Flooding the database buffer cache when there are multiple transactions, and also if there are multiple consistent read operations happening in parallel. All right. And this might be a little worrying to you, but please do not do that, because Oracle has got some intelligence where it will be basically able to clean this up occasionally based on LRU algorithm and MRU algorithm, and I hope you know that least recently used and most recently used algorithms, and it will try to make the buffer cache as healthier as possible. But definitely there would be really a problems with this buffer chain. I call this as buffer chaining, and this particular buffer chaining might be problem when there are resource issues on the database server. And this is how the Oracle database buffer cache works for consistent read operations. All right. Thank you guys for watching the video. I think it made some sense in your day-to-day activities that you do as an Oracle DBA. I hope it definitely helped you guys. So in case if you have liked my video, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You will be basically getting updates on the new blogs that I'll be releasing on this Oracle database administration stuff. Thank you once again. See you.